Welcome to the New York Times February 18 edition of their Hard Sudoku. I'm a little bit in a rush today. I'm leaving for my long-awaited upcoming motorcycle trip tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. The weather is improving slowly, and I think that I will arrive in dry condition tomorrow afternoon in my first stop. I shan't be uploading any YouTube videos, any New York Times videos during my trip, but I have canned 9 or 10 other videos that will be released every morning at 6 a.m. Hanoi time. So let's see about this. Oh, look at this. 2879, 2879. These three squares must therefore be a 1, 3, and a 5. The 4 blocks over here, of course. So this must be the 6, this must be the 6, and this must be the 4. Now we have got a 6 here in one of these two squares and a 6 in one of these two. But let's continue looking at the 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There's an 8 and a 9 here and a 2 here. So this must be a 7. And these now must be a 2, 8, and a 9. That's interesting. So we got a 9 blocking here, and we will have a 9 in one of these squares. We need a 9 for one of these three squares here. And there's a 9 here and here blocking these two squares. So this becomes a 9. The 7 blocks over here and the 7 blocks up here. So this 7 blocks here. So this is a 7, and one of these must be a 7. So a 2, 8, and 9 here leaves these squares here for a 6, 3, and a 1. There's a 3 blocking up here. There's a 3 blocking over here and a 3 blocking over here. So this is a 3. And since a 3 will have to go in one of these squares and therefore can't go here, and we have a 3 blocking down here, this now must be a 3. The 5 blocks over here and the 5 blocks up here. So one of these must be a 5, and therefore one of these must be a 5. A 5 blocks over here and a 5 blocks down here. So this is a 5. 1, 3, and 8 still to be found. There's a 3 blocking over here. So this is a 3. There's an 8 blocking up here. So this is an 8. There's a blank cell here. So this is a 1. That leaves it just one blank cell here. And that, of course, now must be a 6. So I'm looking at 6s. A 6 must go either here or here because all other squares are blocked in this row. We know that these are 1, 3, and 5. And that makes these, of course, a 2, 8, and a 9. And that makes this a 1. And there's a 4 blocking over here. And there's a 4 blocking over here. Now we got 3 possibilities for a 4. So that'll have to wait. This square, by simple counting, can only be a 5. It cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be a 5, but not a 6, 7, 8, or a 9. So this is a 5. So now we just need 6, 7, and a 9 and a 1. 1, 6, 7, 9 for these 4 empty squares. There's a 1, 6, 7 here pointing to this square. Therefore, it must be a 9. And we had a 5 candidate in these two squares. And because of these two 9s now, we also have a 9 candidate in these two squares. So now we have a 1, 6, and a 7 here. One of these must be a 7, of course. The 1 could go here or here. The 6 could go here or here. So with these two being a 5 and a 9, and this blocked by this 8, and these two 8s are blocking these two squares, this is an 8. We also need a 4 for the top row. So one of these squares must be a 4. A 2 must go in one of these. A 1 must go in one of these. I see a 4 here and a 4 here. Is that the beginning of an X-wing, I wonder? One of these must be a 4. So we got these two, and they can both be 4s, but we don't have this square, so we don't really have an X-wing here. It could have been fun, though. we still need to find 5 digits across row 2, and they have to be a 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Let's examine this square. It can be seen by 1, 2, 6, and 7, and therefore it must be an 8. Here's an interesting concept. We need to find a 1, 3, 4, 5, and a 9 for these squares here. There's a 5 and a 9 here, and there's a 1 and a 3 here, so this must be a 4. So these being blocked by 5 and 9s, and this 6 blocks here makes this a 6. And now we know that these have to be a 6 and a 7, and therefore this must be a 1. That should help us because now this is a 1. One of these must be a 1. This cannot be a 1. This cannot be a 1 because it's 1 here, so this is a 1. Making this a 1. Now we need to find a 3 and a 5 for these two squares. The 3 blocks down here, making this a 5 and this a 3. This is going rather well, I think. 2 3s blocking down, 1 3 blocking over, making this a 3. 5 9, 5 9, 5 9, not 5 9, because we have the 5 in this column. So this, of course, is a 9 now, and this is a 5, and this is a 9. 2 and 7 here, and we also have a 2 and 7 here. But let's look at these 2s and 7s, because they put a 4, 5, and an 8 here. Oh, I can't solve those, can I? What are these two? They have to be a 2 and a 7. Okay, we'll have to look elsewhere. So a 1 here and here, and a 1 here and here. What about 2s? No, no, no. But there's probably going to be something clever that we can do. So a 5, 6, and a 7 for these squares. There's a 6 and a 7 in the row, so this, of course, must be a 5. And this is now a 6 and a 7, making these a 1, 4, and a 2. Can we do something with that? I'm not sure. So let's look across here. A 2, 8, and a 4. It's a 2 and a 4 blocking this square. So that must be an 8, and this must be a 2, 4, and this must be a 2 or a 4, and this must be an 8. This must now be a 2, and this must be a 9. Now we are getting somewhere. The 9 here and here forces a 9 in this square like so. These are 6, 7, therefore this is a 1, and that makes this a 1. So with these two 8s blocking over here, and the 8 blocking down here, we now found an 8 for this corner cell. And we remember that these have to be a 2 and a 7, and we still need then to find a 4 and a 5. We have a 5 in this row, so this is a 4, this is a 5. And over here, this is now a 2. And we have a 2 coming over here and a 2 coming up here, so this is a 2 as well, making this a 2 and this a 7. This is really easy now. The 7 blocks up here, making this a 7, this a 7, and this a 6 from memory. And this is a 6, of course. This square must be a 4. Down here, we are looking to get a 4. And that gives us a 4 here. This last digit, it always takes me a while to find the last digit because I have to look at the entire column or row. But I managed to find the 2. And that gives me a 2 here. And a 7 here. And this is now a 7, making this a 6 and a 6 here. And this therefore must be a 5. I felt that this puzzle today was one of the easiest that we have been graced with by the New York Times in a while. It was very easy. It felt like a medium hard puzzle and not like a hard puzzle. But anyway, we solved it. And this will be my last New York Times upload in about 9 days. The other videos that you will be seeing during that time are going to be canned videos that are scheduled to be released every morning at 6 a.m. Hanoi time. Thank you for watching and catch you back here again very soon. Goodbye for now.